I spent over 40 hours reverse engineering Justin Welsh content growth and how exactly you can apply his system for your own digital products. So Justin knew that he wanted to make some sort of content, but he didn't know where exactly he wants to make this content. He realized then that people were killing it on Twitter posting content, but at the time, no one did similar content on LinkedIn. So he found this gap that wasn't fulfilled yet. So how exactly can you apply this for your own growth and your own business? Basically, content now exists on all of the different platforms, so you're not going to be able to use the same thing what Justin Welsh did with LinkedIn, that he found a platform that content didn't exist yet. However, not all of the different content types exist on all of these different platforms. By the way, I'm going to leave a guide how I'm making thousands of dollars with less than 5,000 YouTube subscribers, and you can do the same. So basically what you can do, and I've been doing this and I've seen people absolutely killing it while doing this, you can take concepts from one platform and create that type of content on another platform where it doesn't exist yet. So yes, as I said, content exists on all of the different platforms, but there are certain types of content, let's say, that exist perhaps on TikTok that doesn't yet exist on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube Shorts, or the other way around, maybe content. I see a lot of people taking content from Twitter and applying that in video format, so on and so forth. By the way, I created a database of best 100 digital product examples. Check out the description. I'll explain everything step by step, and believe me, you're going to get so much value from this. So step number one is every Wednesday, he dedicates an hour for ideation. He basically goes through all of the different resources and whatever it is, let's say social media, you can do this anywhere, and create an ideation bank. So basically put everything in just one, let's say, Notion doc, and you can do this for your digital product content that you're going to create. You can do this for your ads as well. You can honestly even do this when you are choosing what products, upsells to create, so on and so forth. Step number two then is he finds anything that supports what he is writing about. So whether it's tweets, quotes, books, articles, whatever it is, just information that he basically gathers as much information about the topic as possible. Step number three, this is part of where this becomes very interesting, is he uses a specific model to write his newsletter. So basically, what is the problem, then how people are approaching it in a wrong way. This is a very interesting thing to do, because now you're kind of like showcasing, okay, everyone is doing it like this, but I actually stand out, and this is why you should pay attention to me, because he shows basically what is his better solution. It doesn't necessarily need to always be better, it can be different as well, just as long as you stand out from everyone else, because now people are going to have a reason why they need to pay attention to you. Then step number four, basically he checks if everything is concise. Actually, if there is anything that's additional that is not necessary, he just cuts all of that out, and later I'll tell you why exactly he does this. There's a really good reason for this. He then adds some visuals, link resources, so on and so forth, just makes everything nice. Step number five, this is pretty interesting because I don't really see many people doing this, is pre-newsletter CTA. And this is for I'm talking about newsletters specifically, but this can also be for social media posts, for all of the different kind of stuff. He writes a piece of content basically to tease the upcoming newsletter. So when you think about it, let's say if I have just read his tweet that he's going to talk about this specific topic in his newsletter, or saw his Instagram post or whatever it is, and then a few hours later I get an email from him in my inbox, and basically I can tell, oh, this is the newsletter that was talking about that topic that was already mentioned on his LinkedIn or whatever, his social media. I now am already, because I have a little bit of information about it, maybe he already hooked me through his social media post. Now I am so much more likely to actually open that email. This is so important and so powerful, and a lot of people don't really think about this. Not many people do the pre-sending social media posting and promotion because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of value. People can't open it right away, but actually it's much more logical because in the step number 6, he does the post newsletter CTA as well, where basically he just writes a piece of content to inform that the newsletter has been published. However, when you think about it, okay, if I know that this newsletter has been published, now I need to go to my inbox and I need to scroll back and I need to find this newsletter. And definitely some people are going to do this. If you do it right away, just as you publish it, that might still be kind of fresh in the inbox, so it might work, but sometimes it might be a tad bit too late and people might be too lazy to now to try and find. That's why really this is really great that he does this, and I would suggest for everyone as well, do both of these, pre and post CTAs to your newsletter or wherever you want to drive people. Number 7, and this is one of the secrets what allows him to basically be so efficient and consistent and hence be so successful. It's the way he's writing his content. He has basically 6 different types of content pieces. He basically chooses when he writes his newsletter, is he going to write a story? Is he going to write an observation? Is he going to write a contrarian take, a listicle, or perhaps a present versus future piece of content? So this makes it very easy. I already mentioned he has this structure where basically within the writing he chooses the problem, how people are approaching it, and better solution. So that's already super easy. But then on top of that, to make it a little bit more interesting, he chooses one of these frameworks as well, and then he just combines the two, and that makes it very easy. He doesn't need to put in a lot of time thinking, how exactly do I want to present this topic? And because these are actually all very interesting, right? A story, observation, rather than just writing straight up facts. If you write a contrarian take, let's say, or present versus future, this is much more interesting way of creating content. Then step number 8 is he creates a thread or a long Twitter X post. He trims off the fat and then turns newsletter into the Twitter thread and posts that on his social media. He also then takes that to LinkedIn and creates a carousel. So this is also, by the way, depending on the platform, you might want to just adjust it a bit. That's why you don't post the whole newsletter. You adjust the format for, let's say, Twitter X. For LinkedIn, carousels work much better than just plain text. So you just create carousels. He also does the same actually on his Instagram as well. He just creates he actually reuses the carousels as well. So he just does the slide post on Instagram. And then step number 10 is when it comes to his publishing, he basically is not afraid to keep on publishing a lot of content, but he tries not to publish all of the content on the exact same day. So basically he schedules out that it spaces it out weekly to avoid repeating himself with the same type of content. So aside from these 10 steps, there is one super important thing that actually makes him really successful, because this framework, what he does, the 10 steps, this is what makes him really efficient. And the next thing is what makes that content really highly engaged and why he gets basically as many followers as he does. What he really does is he finds successful content from others and simply replicates it. I know that sounds super simple and basic, but this is literally what he does. There are certain tools where basically you can see, let's say you open a Twitter profile, you can see these are the best tweets, or you go on TikTok, these are like the best performing videos, or on YouTube, whatever it is. You can do this with all social media platforms. You can just find, okay, what are the standout pieces of content? And then what he does is he creates templates from tweets. So specifically, he does this with tweets and stores them in a template bank. And actually, he offers a whole course detailing how he creates his content system. I have taken the course and it's actually absolutely amazing. I do recommend it. It's super cheap as well. It's only like $150, but the value that you get for that money is absolutely amazing. So I definitely recommend it. And I have some bonuses and I have some discounts. So check out, I'll leave a link for that if you want to check it out yourself. But he basically has this whole system, creates templates from the best performing content and sort of creates almost like formulas where then he puts in his own content. So what we were discussing in the 10 steps, he just takes pieces from that and puts it into this to create a little bit shorter, really well performing type of content. And then another thing that he does is, well, first of all, he posts super consistent. He never really really misses out. He posts all of the time, and that's why I was emphasizing so much that his system is working so well. That's why it allows you, because that's where most people fail, being consistent, and people simply burn out, but he doesn't, because he has this specific system that saves him so much time. Honestly, it's such a killer system. And basically, if you look at his profile, when I was looking at it, he has over 1,200 tweets per month, which is absolutely insane. And by the way, a lot of this is replies, so it's not all just his original tweets, which also shows you that that's part of like why he is successful, because he interacts with a lot of other people's content, but also he engages a lot with people that are engaging with his content. So he just puts in a lot of engagement in general. And then the last thing is what I've noticed as I was reverse engineering all of the content that he is posting. He is not afraid to repost the same content with minor tweaks, often leading to some of his best performing posts. So this is what a lot of people are afraid of, and I've seen from his example, some of the posts that have gained him most followers, most engagement, are actually posts that he posted a while back, but people just simply don't remember, or he just changes up maybe the hooks, takes something from his template and basically takes the same idea from his template bank and just puts it in like a different framework and reposts that, and that gets a bunch of engagement. And that requires a lot less time than creating something completely from scratch. So this is something that I always emphasize to do, and I absolutely do this all the time as well. By the way, I have made some other videos where I discover how I reverse engineer other parts of his business, and honestly, there is so much value and so many things that I haven't seen other people do, and when I discovered them, I was absolutely surprised, and I have been applying them to my own business as well. So check out, I will leave links for all of those.